Once I earn more, once I achieve more, then I'll be happy. How many times do you hear this? Everyone thinks once they get the next thing, then they're going to be happy. Once they get the girlfriend, once they get the car, once they get the house, then they'll be happy. This is the lie that we tell ourselves over and over again, and it keeps us burned out. It keeps us in stress. It keeps us running on empty. It's always when I get to the next level, once I earn the next thing, once I hit the next performance metric, then I'm going to be happy. But this is something that we're always chasing that is never the thing that's actually going to make us happy, because there's so many people that have beautiful homes, but they have broken homes inside. From the outside, it looks like their life is perfect. It looks like they have everything. They have the beautiful house, the amazing car, the pictures on the postcards look amazing, but inside they're dealing with addiction. Inside they're dealing with struggle. Inside their marriage isn't perfect. They have bad relationships with their kids, but from the outside, it looks amazing. So you can keep on achieving, you can keep on trying to get a bigger house or the next car, but it's never going to make you feel satisfied. That thing that you're chasing, that fulfillment that you're chasing, that happiness that you want, it doesn't come from earning more. But we keep telling ourselves this thing over and over again that once I get to this level, once I make 10K a month, once I make 20K a month, once I make $1 million a year, then I'm going to be happy. But that's a lie. The money's never going to make you happy. You just keep on chasing your tail every single month, trying to get the next metric to think that you're going to be satisfied. And why are you doing this? Why do you keep making this new goal of once I get this, then I'll be happy? It's because you don't want to look at yourself. You don't want to look at the real problems. You don't want to look at where the lack of fulfillment is stemming from. And that's always the inside. The ego is going to tell you that you need to earn more. The ego is going to tell you that you need to have more status. The ego is going to tell you that you need to have a better looking girlfriend or a better looking husband, that you need the new shoes. That's the ego talking. That's the ego that's running your life. And the ego always wants more. The ego never lives in the present. It's always thinking and wanting the next thing around the corner, the next shiny object. And that's why so many people start a business and they don't stick with it. Because the ego's saying, oh, look what that person has. I need that too. Then I'll be happy. Oh no, if I could only just get on stage and start speaking, then I'll be happy. If I could just start a coaching business, then I'll be happy. Those are things I've told myself before, right? Once I get my own business, then I'm going to be happy, right? But I come to realize it's always the inner work. It's looking inward and letting go of that ego, letting go of the shame, letting go of the guilt, letting go of the comparison, letting go of all that to find yourself and to love yourself for who you are. And once you can release the need for more, the want for more, the desire to keep on achieving, and don't get me wrong, it's awesome to have a cool house. It's awesome to have a cool car. It's awesome to have a great looking girlfriend or the best looking husband in the room, right? Those are cool. But what I'm saying is it's never going to make you happy. And you'll always be chasing, because there's always going to be somebody richer than you. There's always going to be somebody with a better looking girlfriend. There's always going to be somebody with a nicer car. And you're going to keep on saying, once I catch up with them, then I'll be happy. Once I get more followers, okay, then I'll feel fulfilled. Then I'm going to feel whole inside. It's never that. It's a distraction. And that's what your ego will continue to distract you with. The next thing, the next metric, the next object, the next material status. And you'll keep on chasing to find out at the end of your life that all that stuff didn't matter. And that's why you see millionaires and billionaires that commit suicide, because they're trying to fill something inside with something external. And you can't fill up this heart. You can't fill that heart up with something external. The car will not make this heart feel good. It will make you feel good for a little bit. You'll have that high for a little bit. That closing that sale is going to make you feel good for a little bit, right? Buying that boat, okay, you're going to feel good for a month, but then it's going to wear off, and you're going to have to look back in the mirror again. And you'll find another distraction. You'll find something else to chase. Okay, I hit my 20K months, and now I'm hitting that consistently. What can I do next? Okay, that person's doing 50K a month. Once I do that, then I'll really be happy, right? Or I just bought a boat. Wow, it feels good. But man, look at that person's boat. It looks a little nicer than mine. Once I get a boat like that, then I'm going to be happy. So this is the lie that we keep on telling ourselves and we keep on chasing. But what we need to do is the real work. The real work is looking inside. The real work is getting away from your distractions. The real work is looking at your habits and your routines and saying, okay, why do I have this vice? Why do I have this addiction? Why do I keep on self-sabotaging there? And start asking that question and start pulling that string and getting deeper and deeper into that. Don't be scared to look at yourself. Don't be scared to dig up some stuff from the past. Don't be scared to live in the present. It's easy to always just open up your phone, get on Instagram, and start swiping. Getting on Twitter or X and just looking for another thread, or putting on a movie, or numbing yourself with Netflix, or watching porn, or going and gambling at night, or going out for drinks with your friends. Those are easy distractions. It keeps your mind busy. But the reason that you're really doing that is because you're scared of those emotions. You're really scared to face those thoughts. I remember I used to go out every weekend and I used to binge drink. And I would even say to myself, I don't even want to do this. Like, why do I keep doing this to my body? Why am I going through this cycle every single weekend? Why can't I quit? I know I'm not an alcoholic. I don't physically need this alcohol, but mentally and emotionally, I needed it. I had a mental and I had an emotional dependency on it, because the thought of being with my own thoughts, the thought of sitting in the house in the quiet and hearing my thoughts and feeling those emotions was scarier and more painful than what it actually been to go out and drink. Even though I was going to be hungover the next day, even though I was going to be feeling like shit and beating myself up, the feeling of those emotions that I've been suppressing and repressing for so long was way scarier than actually going out and drinking. And that's why I did it. Sitting with those thoughts, the thoughts that I'm not enough, what are you doing? You're a loser. You're just a bartender. Whatever stupid story I was telling myself that was beating myself up, I did not want to sit with those thoughts, so I'd go out and drink. Now, if you can look at your own life and look at your distractions, look at the things that you go to. What are the things that you go to constantly that are just a distraction? You don't want to be doing them. It's a bad habit. You know you shouldn't be doing them. You know you want to quit, but you can't. I guarantee you don't have an actual physical addiction. You have a dependency because you don't want to look at the emotions. You have a dependency because you don't want to face those thoughts that keep coming up. So it's easier to go gamble. It's easy to go online shopping. It's easy to watch porn. It's easy to do any of that shit instead of actually looking at the root cause and looking at those insecurities that you have, those shortcomings, those thoughts, those emotions. Because I'll tell you, it's not fun having those emotions come up. It's not fun feeling that pain in your stomach or in your chest or in your shoulders, wherever you hold that pain. That's not actually fun. But you know what is fun? Letting that shit go. Letting go of that guilt. Letting go of that doubt. Letting go of that fear. Because once you can let go, you can allow these emotions to come in. You can feel them. You can breathe through them. And you recognize them. And you recognize, oh, okay, this is just a feeling. This is just a response. This is just maybe a little bit of a trauma or something from my past that I've been neglecting and burying and suppressing. Because when you continue to suppress and repress those emotions, they just continue to come back up in different forms. And then you use those outlets to channel that emotional pain so you don't have to deal with it, so you don't have to feel it, right? You just go ahead and overeat because then you don't have to feel that emotion. You don't have to feel that insecurity. You don't have to feel that lack. You'll just feel what that sugar rush is doing in your body, right? So you're going to tell yourself that you need to achieve more. You're going to tell yourself that you need more, that you got to be more successful. And I think everyone should make money. I think everybody should be successful. I think everyone should do a business that they absolutely love, that they get fulfillment from, and it provides value to somebody else. Because if you can do that, you will be fulfilled. But I also don't think you need to achieve more and believe that you need to have this certain amount of money or this certain car or this certain house to be happy. Because that's just a lie. And it's a lie that you're telling yourself so you can keep on sabotaging. So you can keep on sabotaging those relationships on your way to getting that money. So you can keep on putting your body through hell, stress, and all this overwhelm so you can make more money. The money is not what you want. The money is what you think is going to make you feel better. Everything you want in your life, you want it because you think it's going to make you feel better. It's a feeling that you're chasing. If you earn a certain amount of dollars, I'm going to feel this certain way. If I can buy this house, I'm going to feel this certain way. If I can go travel the world and go on vacation, I'm going to feel this way. If I get in a relationship with this person, I'm going to feel this way. If I cheat on my husband, I'm going to feel a certain way. So everything you do is for a feeling and an emotion. And that's why you want more money. But what if we just went to the root cause and found out The reason that I need this is because I'm insecure, because I'm holding on to guilt, because of something that happened in my past. And what if I just took a deep breath? What if I just let that guilt come in? What if I just felt that shit and just released it? How would that change my life? Because then you wouldn't be holding on to some pain, some heavy burden, and you could actually move forward. What if I just let that shame in from that thing that happened to me when I was a kid? Or what if I just let that shame in from that thing that I did last week that I'm really embarrassed about? What if I just let it in? What if I just let it run through my body and release? How would I feel? Because as you do that, what you're doing is uncovering this buried shit that you've been suppressing and repressing for years and years. And all of that takes time to release. But you can start the process today of letting go and stop blaming your lack of success on your lack of happiness. It's not your lack of achievement. It's not your lack of money that's making you unhappy. It's your lack of emotional intelligence. And if you can start to become more emotionally intelligent, understand your emotions, let them go, release them, understand that your thoughts aren't you, they're just thoughts. A lot of thoughts are somebody else's thoughts that have been imprinted on you. You can start releasing those as well. You can continue to let go and release and become lighter. Then you'll no longer have this need to burn yourself into the ground for achievement. You know how many people I know that just work nonstop, run themselves into the ground, they get no sleep, they don't work out, they just sabotage in all these ways, and it all stems from, I need to perform more, I need to achieve more, because once I get to this goal, then I'll be worthy, then my life will have meaning. What if you just realize that you have meaning already, that you walking this earth is meaning, that you with your heart pumping, you already have meaning. So you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You're trying to prove yourself to this ego. And let me let you in on a secret. The ego is never going to be satisfied. It's always going to want more. It's always going to want more abundance, more success, more sales, a better girl, a better husband, whatever it is, the ego is always going to want more. And you keep on trying to impress this thing. And you think one day you're going to meet it, but you're never going to. And the only way you're ever going to be happy is if you can look inward, do the work, and start to feel better. Start to heal yourself from the inside. It's the inside. It's the thoughts and it's the emotions that you've been suppressing and repressing. And once you understand that, your life will change. And I'm actually not just saying this shit. I actually witnessed this about 5 years ago. I had a year where I made 7 times the amount of what I'm making right now. So I made 7 times the amount of what I'm making right now. I had all this money in my account, and I thought I was on top of the world. I thought I was going to feel great. But guess what? Nothing really changed. I spent a little more money. I was a little less careless with my money. My ego got a little bigger. I walked around, maybe pumped my chest a little bit, but I still felt like shit inside. I was still abusing my body and drinking crazy. I was still blacking out. I still had the same group of friends. I was still doing the same exact shit, except for I had more money in my account. And I thought I was going to feel better because I was making all this money. Because I always said, hey, once I make this much money, then I'll feel good. I actually made that money. And guess what? I wasn't even emotionally mature enough to hold on to that money. And I ended up losing it all. But it was one of the greatest lessons ever because I made 7 times of what I'm making right now in 1 year. Made all that money and nothing changed. I felt the same. I had the same insecurities. I still had low self-esteem. Nothing changed. So it was a great lesson because now I know that no matter how much money I make, it's not going to make me happy. The next job is not going to make me happy. The next client is not going to make me happy. It's when I know who I am and I'm proud of who I am because I've done the work on myself, that's what makes me happy. Looking in the mirror and knowing who I am and understanding, oh, you're that dude, Kevin. You are that dude that does what he says he's going to do. You are the dude that shows up. You are the dude that does respectful things. You are the guy that's been able to stop and look at yourself and know yourself enough that you have boundaries now. That's the person that I love. That's the person that I respect. And that's the person that I feel right now. And that's why I feel so damn fulfilled right now because I love who I am. Because I've done the work. I used to not even be able to look in the mirror and say I love you without my throat choking up. I couldn't do it. My throat would swell up. The words wouldn't even come out of my mouth because I didn't like who I was. Because I was scared to look at myself. I was scared to look at the emotions and the thoughts. That is a pain that's more painful than anything. Because everything you're doing, you know, is to fulfill this facade, to try to feel better. And you know that it's not you. And you're just trying to achieve externally, get a bigger house. And like I said, there's so many people that have amazing houses. They have amazing cars. but their internal life is shit. They have a terrible marriage, they have a terrible relationship with their kids, and the inside of their house is hollow. And just because everybody looks amazing on Instagram doesn't mean that's what their life is. So you're trying to achieve, and you're trying to do more, and you're trying to work yourself into the ground to get this happiness, but the happiness is already inside of you. You just have to start looking inward and doing that work. And as soon as you do that, your life is going to shift. And if you feel like you're just chasing your ego, here are 3 questions that you can ask yourself today. When I look in the mirror, do I love myself as much as I love my P&L and my bank account? The second question you can ask yourself, am I building connections or am I just building a career? And then the last question you can ask yourself is, if nothing improved financially, would I still be proud of how I'm living? And if you can answer those 3 questions, you'll be able to get a lot of clarity. Because if you're just chasing money, you're not building connections, you're not proud of who you are other than making money, that's not a life to be living. That means you haven't done the work inside. That means you're using your goals and all these performance metrics to give yourself value, and you're chasing something that's never going to make you happy. So answer those 3 questions and find out, am I just chasing goals? Am I just chasing success? Am I just chasing money because I think it will make me happy? Or do I actually want this? Is it actually making me a better person? Do I actually feel fulfilled and aligned with the things that I'm doing? I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that the inner work is easy, but it's worth it. Because once you come out the other side, once you do that work, once you feel aligned with who you are, you love who you are, you can look in the mirror and say, I love me. That's when your life has shifted. That's when you own your life. And nothing can be taken from you. You can't take that gratitude. You can't take that heart from you. You can lose all the money in the world. You can lose your house. You can lose your car. But you can't lose this heart. You can't lose your integrity. And you can't lose your ethics. And if you can look inside and know that you love who you are, you do what you say you're going to do, and you love the person that you've become, you got everything you need. Remember, greatness is already inside of you. Now let's just bring it out.